When I was 5 in pre-primary, I did the compulsory school hearing test and they found out that I was profoundly deaf in my right ear, and I went on to a worldwide trial for people with single-sided deafness. I got my cochlear implant and here we are today. But before this happened, I would be looking for my mum and dad shouting, "Where are you?" and they would say, "Here," but I wouldn't know where the sound was coming from and wouldn't be able to find them. People would, and still do now, ask what that thing is on my ear, and I would happily explain. The funny thing is though, they always apologize for asking, which to me is very strange. What are people sorry for, and what's the problem with curiosity? Young children are always the most honest because they don't understand if something could be upsetting to someone, which to me it isn't. I honestly love when people come and ask me about being deaf because it means that I'm given the opportunity to spread around the story that I'm so lucky to have because it sets me apart from almost everyone else I've ever met. I love being able to tell people about my different experiences, including the one on my 9th birthday when I accidentally swam in the ocean with my cochlear on and didn't realize until the batteries died. But it was fine anyway. In the past couple of years, I've really realized that I can use my voice to tell other people about my deafness and what it's like to live with a cochlear implant. Leadership and responsibility are very rewarding for me, and I love getting opportunities like this to talk about my experiences, though they may be limited as I'm only 13. I've done a youth leadership council for my local area, about 3 youth leadership camps, and currently a youth advisory council for students with a sensory loss, and also my school student council. All of these have been great opportunities to learn to lead and innovate. I think an important part of being a good leader, deaf or otherwise, is to understand what the needs of the people around you are and how you can make things work for everyone. Leadership to me isn't about the ability to say, "I lead this and I lead that." It's about being able to make a difference and fight for what you believe in. I once saw a quote, "A leader is someone who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way." To me, this means a leader is someone who shares their knowledge with other people and lets other people share their knowledge with them so they can keep improving. I've met certain people before who I believe have the potential to be really, really great leaders, but they don't respect other people and think their way is the only way to do things. People like that may sometimes be successful, but not many people will truly follow them. One thing I've noticed from observing people is that most of the time people like to be heard, whether they speak loud or soft. I understand that. If people weren't meant to speak up, why would they have voices otherwise? A leader is also someone who can be strong through challenges and stay calm through difficult situations. I think that these are 2 important things for all leaders, hearing or deaf. I'll be honest, I don't think that I really advocate for a certain cause. I just talk about it if it interests me or I'm involved in it. I don't go out and just start talking to people. I usually wait for people to talk to me first. I don't want to talk to someone who's just pretending to be interested. I want to talk to people who genuinely want to become educated on a topic, most of all being deaf. But being a leader means that sometimes you have to talk to people, even if at first they're unwilling to listen. I think that eventually, if you talk often enough, people can change and start to want to become involved in a cause. An example of this. In primary school, all of my friends loved Harry Potter, but I'd never read, seen, or cared about it. Eventually though, after hearing them talk about it enough, I decided to go and read it, and I instantly loved it. Now I've seen the movies and read the books too many times to count. I know that example has nothing to do with being an advocate for deafness, but it's proof of what I'm trying to say about talking about something often enough that curiosity will take over and people will want to hear what you've got to say. To me, this mostly means spread the message as far and wide as possible to help people hear what your message is. I don't think there's really any difference between deaf leadership and deaf leadership, apart from the one word in front of it. People who are deaf that I've met aren't much different from people who are hearing. The only thing that's different is the obvious thing, which sometimes isn't even that obvious. People who I've known for a long time sometimes even forget that I'm deaf because I don't let it become who I am. Being a leader is also about being able to accept people fully as they are. It's about embracing every quality of people around you and letting yourself better from these qualities and allowing it to form a bond between you and the people around you. If people can see that you're willing to listen to them and that they can have their voices heard, it will be far easier for those around you to respect and trust you. Another very important part of being a leader is to have role models and other leaders that you and your team can look up to and aspire to be. Personally, there are a lot of people in my life who are good role models and who I can look up to. My parents are definitely big parts of my life that I can look to for inspiration because they've always been there for me. My audiologist, Daisy, has known me since I was a shy little 5-year-old girl, and she's always worked so hard and been so positive through every experience that I've had. There are also some people who are famous that are great sources of inspiration for me. Emma Watson is an advocate for female equality and bringing a voice to young girls who think their opinions don't matter. Something all of these people have in common is their determination and ability to change people's lives for the better, whether they know them or not. That is leadership to me. It's just my opinion based on my experiences and stories. And you may think something else to me, and I respect that. Thank you.